Yeah, think of, yeah, but first, just walk for a few minutes and go a nice tempo on the walk and feel how his back works. Now, you know, we discussed what's going on in his back, and obviously one hind leg goes forward at a time, so one side of his back is stretching, the other side is contracting. So you feel how that lifts your seat bone, swings forward, drops down and back. Just sort of let that flow through your body so you start to feel the connection between your body and his body. So now you want to interrupt the forward movement by stilling your seat, right? Okay, do that a few times. That's beautiful. He's square. His hind legs were out behind him, but he was square.
But I'm not doing anything here. So
right. So do that a few times and try to figure out how your seat affects the muscle ring.
It felt like a piece at a time.
Okay, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because the horse is moving forward in a four-beat fashion in the walk, but we're really kind of thinking about the hind legs more than anything else.
I mean, if all legs stopped at once, they wouldn't stop square at all. They'd stop where they were. So you have to place
It could be interesting. I think that's called the Arab canter, when all legs stop at once. All right, so announce the moment when the inside hind leg is in the air, when his back drops down on that side. Yes. Very good. Now, as his back moves away from your seat, if you were to press strongly into his back, what effect do you think that it would have? His hind legs in the air.
I think it would come forward more.
No? That's a possibility. It's actually not very likely, though, because the
Is this that when are you interrupting?
yeah, it's basically going to hit the ground sooner. So you don't really want to influence it strongly like that as the leg's coming forward. Now, when the leg hits the ground, yes, yeah. So now, if you press against that, what do you think that does?
It makes you stop.
Yeah. Okay. Why?
I just tried it. Why?
Yeah. Think about it.
Because it must interrupt the circle.
I'm not sure that interrupt is the right word, but the leg is on the ground. Okay. What it does is it
Prevents it from going again.
exactly. So let's stop him again someplace, and let me just come up to you and do something to you, and see how you react.
Or you push back.
Okay. So you push against his back. What does he do? His leg's on the ground. He pushes back against you, and that stills that leg. So it stops it. So you can actually, in ceasing to follow his back, try, and this is, I mean, he's trained in a particular way, but just try something. Feel the moment when the right hind leg is on the ground, and then the left hind leg on the ground. Correct.
Right, left.
Okay, so see if you can press your seat bone a little more firmly against the hind leg when it's on the ground, beginning on the outside. Okay, so you're going to go left, right, left. Good. And it's just a test. It's just to see how he responds. Do the same thing again. See how he reacts.
Left, right.
Good. So what he did was he took 3 steps with his hind legs.
Left, right. Left, right.
Whoops, whoops.
Back over there. I'm getting a little confused.
It's okay.
Because I know where it is, but when I'm saying left, I'm not pushing, I'm lifting.
Yeah.
I'm giving the wrong response, so.
So you just make your seat bone a little firmer.
Yeah,
So-
in general, that helps. Now I'm starting to use the reins. Oh, well.
Yeah. But it's okay, because sometimes the student has to learn too. And let him, yeah, he needs to stay in the stop, or he becomes confused. Good. Good. Okay, so forget about that for right now,
Okay.
and just take the trot, because it's enough. He needs to trot a little bit now. Now, I liked what she said, and it should sound familiar to you, about stretching yourself against him.
Yes. Oh, come on, we were having no way tossing earlier. Bend. There we go. Bend. Bend.
Now, what's another one of the things that I say ad nauseum? No action of the rein is unaccompanied by a leg action.
Right.
So when you ask him for more bend with the rein, also
Oh, come on.
press against the rib cage. Don't worry about it. Stuff happens. Good. That's right. Leg and rein.
Boy, there we go.
There you go. And see, the moment you feel him change the contact, even before he's gotten a little toss out of it, but just the slightest change in the contact, that's when you apply the leg and hold with the rein. Then if he continues to press against you, then ask for more bend and a firmer leg. But over time, you should be able to have a very subtle conversation with him that whenever he changes his acceptance of the hand, that the leg is right there to put him back up to the rein. And now touch him with the whip. Just touch him with the whip behind your leg. And then you apply the leg again and say, hey, buddy, I meant business here. So if he's not responding to the leg, if he's ignoring it, then you need to put him in front of the leg. That's better. And make sure that your hands are very elastic, even if you have a positive contact.
I didn't really ask
That's
for that.
okay, go for it. The canter is always a gift. If he takes the canter, stay in the canter as long as you want to, so that he doesn't develop the canter as an evasion. And it looks like maybe your hands are holding his shoulders a little bit. He's not reaching forward with his front legs like he should. Touch him with the whip. That's right. And let him go forward.
I'm gonna let him stretch him.
That's fine.
Good boy.
Yeah, you have to be careful that riding him with a shorter rein doesn't become an unyielding rein. And actually, yielding's not the right word. Inelastic.
Right.
Now, for 6 strides, ask him to go a little more forward on 2, 4, and 6. It's okay. Stay in the canter. Doesn't matter. If he misinterprets forward as canter, that's all right. He'll get over it.
That's a lot of canter.
Okay, and bring him back to the trot. Now sit up and, yeah, better, forward, and forward, it's okay. Touch him with the whip. Now remember, she only rides him a few minutes in a gait at a time, but now he's kind of being a little twit, so he's got to go a little more forward, and then you can give him a break and walk him. That's the way he's used to being worked. It's not the way I work horses, but it's certainly what he's used to, and if you want to make a change in it, that's fine, but don't make it all at once. Okay, that's better. When he feels good, then go ahead and make a transition to the walk. So make sure that if he starts to talk to you and sort of say, well, you know, Karen, I've really worked as long as I want to right now. It's time for a break. You say, okay, I just want a little bit more first.
Right.
Otherwise, he'll ride you instead of you riding him. And change your direction.
Yes. And that canter is fine, right? It's just big.
Yeah. But now remember that you frequently, that bronze would give you the canter as a little bit of an evasion to going forward.
Oh, yes.
So it may be a little bit of Karen there rather than necessarily the pony. But that's okay, because, you know, he also has to get used to you.
Yeah.
You are not going to ride exactly the way he has been ridden in the past, and he has to deal with that. He's going to make mistakes. And so what?
Right. Good boy. Good boy.
If he makes his mistakes when you're in an Olympic trial with him, then we'll talk.
Well, and I need to, you know, I put so much pressure on myself to do this right
Yep.
right now. I've just barely got started. So.
Right. And, you know, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to confuse the horse. But that's all right. You'll work it out. It's not possible to, you know, unless you've been a longtime student of the person who trained the horse, for there to be a totally seamless transition from one rider to another.
Should we work on some transitions?
Sure. Try your halt transitions while you're walking, but we won't stay in the walk quite so long.
Aha, coyotes.
Yeah. Yeah, you be good, Jackson, or we'll feed you to them.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, they are cheeky buggers.
Are they?
They come practically up to the house.
Wow.
Okay, now I would have sustained that halt a bit longer, and it was a pretty nice halt. Count to 5 at least. Now, and certainly there are moments to almost only hesitate in the walk and keep going. But for now, first, you know, one thing at a time. Let him understand when you want him to halt. Then when he understands that really well, if you want to turn it into a hesitation, it won't confuse him. And I like the fact that she likes trot, walk, trot transitions too, because, you know, remember we've worked on those with bronze, and they're
Never do enough of those.
really terrific for the horse. So why don't we do a few of those? So I want you to feel the stepping of the inner hind leg, stretch yourself against that hind leg, and take the trot.
I think he thinks we're going to halt again.
Yeah.
Because I think as I'm stretching, I'm probably slowing my seat.
Yeah, and remember when you stretch, it's very slight, because you don't want to end up getting stiff. And he'll figure that out quickly enough that it's a preparation for a transition. So a little better forward.